What is going on, guys? It is Max. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video is a little bit special. Also, if you notice, the microphone and camera quality is low-key kind of goated right now. That is because my dad put me on with the camera. I've had this for a minute though, but just enjoy, you know? But today's video is very simple. I'll get straight to it. I'm gonna help you guys get over your fear of getting better at coding. Now, I describe it as a fear of getting good at coding because you might be actually restraining yourself when you code. And I'll get right into that, so keep on watching till the end. Now, first and foremost, you might be stuck in a loop. Now, if you just started out and you feel like you're getting stuck already, you might just need to break out of your YouTube tutorial hell. Now, what do I mean by this? If all of your knowledge comes from one source, being YouTube or a website, and you can't make anything for yourself, you're in the wrong direction entirely. You know, no company's gonna go over there and be like, oh yeah, let's hire this guy who knows how to make something off a YouTube tutorial. That just doesn't make any sense. Now I'll show you with some examples real fast. For example, I have this program right here. There are some libraries here you may have never seen before. And the ones I'm speaking about right here are PyDub and maybe SciPy if you just got into this. Now, what does this mean? This is obviously not a beginner program. If you know something about data science, you probably recognize a lot of these elements. If you know something about anything related to sound, you definitely recognize PyDub. Now, what do I get from showing you this? This is definitely a lot different than every single tutorial on Python you've ever seen. Now, this program does really nothing special. If I run it real fast, it brings up a frequency spectrum for an audio. And as you can see, the audio is just called Choppy Process. It's one of the files I actually used for making a video on this channel. And what I'm getting at right now is that I had to think out of my own boundaries for this. There's a certain type of programming that ends up happening, and it's called CRUD programming. And I'll put it up on the screen. This type of programming is when you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and it's probably why you don't feel like any results are coming in. You do input, output, update, and display. It's something along those lines. And it's really boring. It's really monotonous, but I will keep it straightforward though. It is good to start off doing that stuff, and I've been doing it. But I noticed that I did it in every language I've learned. I did it in Lua, I did it in Python, I did it in C++. I kept on making the same things without any desire. And you know, you gotta just assess yourself, just a full state of self-assessment. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? What do I want to code? Like, when I get to make money someday, what do I want to make money from? Just sitting and coding a bunch of BS? No. You know, sometimes you got to catch yourself. You know, you can fall back and look around and not know what you're doing, and that's fine. It took me months to even understand what I was doing wrong. I mean, hey, if I go on LeetCode right now, I might not even be able to solve 80% of the problems I do. And that's fine because I know what I want to do. I might want to get an internship. I might want to do that. But I definitely want to get my own startups going, and I love the entrepreneurship part of that. That's just me, okay? And I also love making these videos. It's so fun to document this. But let's keep on going. Now, this next part of the video that I'll introduce you to, it might come across a little weird and honestly unorthodox, but just bear with me. And I think you should start reading more books. Oh no. Want to be in my video? I'm not even going to explain what she just did, guys. Say hello to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
This video is going to be like viewed by 50 people tops. So.
Oh no.
Oh no. Don't worry, I won't snitch on you. Now, books. Why books? Comprehension. If you struggle to read any problem, you're not going to even understand how to read it in the first place or do it. Like, one of the things I constantly struggled with is that I would go on LeetCode and I would just struggle because I couldn't read the question. And every time I got it wrong, it's because I answered the question the wrong way. So just start reading. Recommendations are Project Hail Mary, Stoner, and hold on, let me think of a really good one for you guys. Read East of Eden. Goated. These things will do tremendous efforts. Now, this next piece of advice that I'll give you is so basic. It's so like you hear it everywhere. Just build projects. You got 2 repos on GitHub. I'll put right on the screen and I'll link it in the description. You can get goated and cracked at coding in no time. It is not like it is not something that you can't do. There are places out there that make you think. It doesn't matter if you think you can't think. There are places that will make you think inevitably. So just get to it. One of the most infamous of them all is build your own X. I've looked this up so many times because I just didn't know what to make. And these guys basically spend time doing it all for you. Now, of course, having your own way of thinking is completely fine. And honestly, it's optimal. But if you just need things that are computer science oriented and you aren't 100% sure what may goes on in this field, get to it. Now, honestly, speaking from experience, a little issue with Python is that a lot of the things you do are going to be entirely logic based. Like if we look up CV2, which is a common image processor, you'll notice that like it's just an interface over a currently existing library. If you want performance, you got CPython, and there's a big C in front of it because it's non-Python. So performance, just throw Python out the way. We have a blockchain, for example. You can just implement the blockchain. This just gets your knowledge up. And there's more and more. And this is obviously all about blockchains here, but augmented reality, that is sick. And you have OpenCV. You can make stuff happen here. You can display your data. And actually, I have a project I'm going to work on, and I'll spill the sauce. I don't care. You guys can have this idea. I don't know how many people are going to see this video, but it's probably not a whole lot. I'm going to make a either augmented reality like program with OpenCV, visualizing data about how you lift weights. I will literally get a language model to identify what am I doing with my workouts and are they viable? Are they going to work? And I'll even visualize it on like a little mini graph on the top right of the screen or something like that. That's just cool. You know, it's just cool. I don't care if it's like going to be rigorous. I will do it because I want that end result. And I love fitness, so I'll get to it as well. Now, this next segment, I'll be straightforward with you. I think about it more than anyone, or I'm sure there's people like me, but this is my main weakness in that I compare myself to everyone. I feel like I need to know every library. I feel like I need to know every single way of doing things, every single software design, program design, package. I just feel like I need to know it. And that is far from the truth. You do not need to know everything. A jack of all is the master of none. And that sounds corny, but I mean it. Like, I'm starting to orient my interests around web development and maybe some interface software because I find that really fun. I love visualizing stuff, whether it be Matplotlib, OpenCV, Pygame. Making games is a great way of getting good at coding. Our goal here is just to climb over the learning curve. And I think you can do it too. Like, the smartest people out there are no smarter than you. They ended up just getting maybe a little earlier than you did. But like, it's the same human brain, the same chemistry. Come on, you got it. Now, this next segment goes out to all my overthinkers. This is me sometimes, quite a bit actually. If you go through all my little projects here, I have a lot of random things and they always end up being incomplete because I thought too much about it. Now, these are from my earlier projects. I have more like directories where I hold my projects, but let me just tell you, overthinking about if your project is going to have the right amount of software, the right amount of iteration, the coolest libraries. Well, let's look at my resume. Like the resume bit, you shouldn't even think about that stuff when you're midway through your like project. You just shouldn't think, wow, let's look at my resume. Just get to it, learn. Like, my honest take on this is that just be yourself. Like, being yourself applies to more than just like the real world. It applies to coding as well. We all have our little coding styles right here. And with something as high level as Python, there is no like perfect way of doing it. Like, it is a known thing in the computer science world when you get into a job that places have their own code bases. They do things their own way and you kind of just suck it up and follow it that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. You probably have heard that before. And it's true. Like, if it's not broken, then don't bother fixing it unless it is truly optimal. But this is kind of like branching off into an abstract, you know, kind of spiral right now. So let's just hop over to the next topic. And this one for me is really helpful because after doing all those CRUD projects I told you about, I just could not get over this. And one of them is to just implement things, like things that you already know exist. Like, don't even bother trying to come up with some new things that are going to make everyone's like, you know, eyes turn to hearts. Just forget about that stuff. For example, in my code, I made my own little event loop with async. And this is not even how you do it. This ended up being wrong. There's something called an async queue for this. And I just could use that. But I like tried doing it my own way. And this is my own macro software that ended up working and doing some pretty cool stuff. Something else you can implement would be data structures. Implement the binary search. Implement Dijkstra's algorithm. Implement A star. There's repos just full of algorithms you can do and implement. Just like implement collections, data structures, things that you honestly think are awesome. And if you want a challenge, look up how to do an LLM from scratch. You'll probably be befuddled. Last but not least, I'm going to end the video here though after this, but I want you to hear this one. Some of us find out a better way for ourselves quicker than others. It kind of like dates back to comparison, but like I've used many languages in the past before. And I think that if you're doing a starting language, like just do Python. Like if you want the logic and CS things to get a job and speedrun it. I've seen this video about this guy named Coding Jesus, and unironically one of like the best ways of doing it. It's kind of torturous though. You get a book. I recommend like Real Python or something, or Fluent Python. Real Python's a website. Fluent Python is a great book. You just do like 100 pages a day. Just study there and get it done. Practice. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is basically a rant video. I'll probably go back and look at some of the things I'm saying here and be like, what the hell was that? But I promise you, like, this has just been on my mind all day. Been dying to just go home. And my girlfriend here is just like waiting for me to finish the thing, but she hates me. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care. See ya.